Here are 5 reasons why some Muslim women will stay fat and unfit for the rest of their lives. As a Muslim woman myself, obviously, that has been coaching other Muslim women to lose 20, 30 kilos, these are very common situations that I see that stop Muslim women from transforming their bodies and just being their best physical and mental self. Now, just a side note, this is not a video to tell you that you need to lose weight and be the skinniest version of yourself. This is about overall health. This is about losing excessive fat and being the best physical version of yourself and for your family and for the sake of Allah. Now, let's get into it. One of the first and most important reasons is there's a lack of urgency. You see, most women, they will wait until they have diabetes, any sort of insulin resistance. They'll wait until they have PCOS, autoimmune conditions like hypothyroid or Hashimoto's, or they'll wait until they're in their 50s to finally say, I think I need to do something about my health. Now, quite frankly, it is not the right way to wait until something happens in order for you to take action. If you have to wait for the worst thing to happen to finally take action, just know that now trying to get healthy and trying to get fit is going to be 10 times harder. Why wait until you're 50 when you can do it at 20 or 30? Why wait until you have children when you can start earlier? Why wait until you've had all of your children when you can start with your first child or second child? The point I'm trying to make is there's this whole notion of procrastination because you don't have a real reason why. But I will tell you something from experience with working with hundreds of Muslim women. Do not be one of those ladies that will only treat it as urgent when there's no other choice. Don't wait until you turn up to the doctor's office and the doctor has told you that if you don't take action now, there are going to be problems. Don't wait until you're told that you can't conceive because you're too overweight and that you need to work on your health. Fitness is not just about aesthetic. It's truly about how you feel about yourself, your health on the inside, and also the longevity of your life. And for the sake of Allah, Allah has given you this body to take care of, and it's an amana. And you're there treating it like trash. You're eating rubbish every day. And the only time you treat your body well is when you have to. Is when, for example, you have a health condition, or you're pregnant, or you've just given birth. And what sort of life is that? You cannot expect your body to take care of you when you never take care of your body. Your body will protect you and look after you. So as long as you're protecting your body and looking after your body as well. The point I'm trying to make is one of the number one reasons why Muslim women don't take that step towards getting fit is simply because they don't really have a real reason why. You see, some ladies do have a reason why. It may be aesthetic. It could be, I want to fit into my wedding dress, which is fine. That is a very good reason as to why a woman could embark on her weight loss journey. But what happens after you get married? Is that it? You've had your wedding, you fit into your dress now, and then that's it. And then you have children, you gain more weight, you get unfit, your lower back is finished, and that's about it. The reason why you need to lose fat and get fit today is so that it doesn't become a situation that you now have to. Now the doctor told you you need to. Because once it's gotten to that situation, I promise you, from experience with working with many other ladies just like yourself, the situation now of losing fat becomes more tedious. It becomes more draggy. It becomes more difficult because your body is not in the right space and your body is not in the right way to do it. That doesn't mean it's not doable. That doesn't mean that if you are right now in that matter of urgency that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying the earlier you get these things done and the earlier fitness becomes a part of your lifestyle, the more likely you won't have these urgent conditions that you'll have to deal with later on. The second reason, which is going to be super controversial, is out of sight, out of mind. Now, as Muslim women, as you can see, we dress modest and we cover. Now, what happens when you cover something and you don't see it? You end up forgetting about it. So that means you don't see your body on a day-to-day basis. You're dressed modestly. You're dressed in abaya, loose clothing. Some of you wearing niqab. And it's our daily uniform. I don't like to use the word uniform, but it is. That's our Muslimah uniform. And when you're covered on a day-to-day basis, you don't have to fit into those tight jeans that you have in your cupboard on a day-to-day basis. So you wouldn't be able to realize that those jeans don't fit just yet. So as you're gaining weight, or if you've been a certain weight for a very long time, you will not see it as an issue because you simply can't see it. if you know what I mean. And a lot of ladies are in denial because they're wearing loose clothing and modest clothing. They think that their health is not something that they have to work on because at the end of the day, nobody really sees it. So I guess it doesn't matter, but it still does matter because your health, like I said, is not just about aesthetic. So here's my advice. When you're around your home, when you're with friends, when you're with family, wear something else. Stop wearing your big clothes to cover yourself. Wear clothes that make you feel feminine. I'm not saying wear the tightest clothes in the world, but stop wearing clothes to simply hide behind all the time. Because when you start wearing different clothes that you actually want to wear, because let's be honest, nobody wants to walk around like this 24/7. We do it because we need to, and that's okay. But the point I'm trying to make is when you start to wear different clothes, when you start to wear more feminine clothes, more things that are a little bit more tighter on the body, you're going to start to notice that you are packing on a lot of weight on your abdomen area, which is very dangerous. These things can cause major health conditions. You know those jeans that you have in your cupboard? Bring them out. Wear them when you're at home. Don't just get used to wearing just loose clothing all the time, because when you are packing on weight and you're not going to realize, and then before you know it, you're 25 kilos heavier, and now you're dealing with potential type 2 diabetes. These things happen very quickly, and being covered is not a great way to keep yourself in check because you can't physically see what's happening. So one thing I like to do personally is I keep a track of my weight on a week-to-week basis to make sure that I'm either maintaining my weight or reaching the goals that I want to achieve. And I have my clients do the exact same thing. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to dress up at home every day. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you're just wearing those loose leggings, those stretchy leggings, and that big loose t-shirt, I'm telling you, when you've packed on 20 kilos, that is still going to fit. I've had ladies that have come to me and said, Mariam, I've gained a lot of weight and I don't really know how it happened. But my question is, how did you not know it was happening? You wasn't weighing yourself. You wasn't measuring yourself like week to week or every 2 weeks or even every month. You wasn't trying on clothes to see if this fits and this doesn't. And it's like, no, I've been wearing the same clothes back to back. And that's how it happens. Okay, so hear me out on this one. With point 3, coping mechanism. So think about when you're feeling super emotional, when you're feeling sad or grieving, or you're going through a very stressful time. Us Muslims, we don't drink, we don't party, we don't smoke. We don't do these things in order for us to kind of like cope with whatever's happening in life. All we have is food. We don't do anything else. We can't do anything else. And we end up turning to food a lot more, I think, than people that can do those other things. So when you're someone who just wants to forget, you're going through a very difficult time, you just want to forget about everything and you just want to sit and just eat your feelings away, that's the only option that you have. And the solution to this is to simply start thinking about things that make you feel good, putting food aside. I know that's really hard, but when it comes to really trying to tackle your weight and your health, you really need to find something else that can work for you on a long term. Because eating your feelings every single time you're going through difficulty is only damaging your body, is only damaging your health. And the more you do it, the worse the situation is getting. And this is why it's important for a Muslim woman to find comfort in other things. That could be being around family, for example. That could be going out for a walk. That could be having a bath or having a very hot shower and, kind of like doing your everything shower, washing your hair, doing your skincare, something that is going to make you feel good about yourself. Because eating your life away only makes you feel good in that moment. And then within half an hour, 1 hour after it's done, you feel guilty, you feel like trash, your body feels like rubbish, you don't feel good, and you're just full of regret. And this is why I say that when a Muslim woman is trying to get fit, one of the most important things that she has to do is try to find a way to gather her emotions and to deal with difficult times, putting aside food. And that is, in my opinion, I've worked with Muslim women for such a long time. Trying to navigate this, I think, is one of the most difficult challenges for every single Muslim woman, including myself. When I was on my weight loss journey and lost 37 kilos, this is something that I had to find within myself, because then it opens up a whole can of worms of, well, what else do I enjoy? And then you realize that you don't really have hobbies. And then you realize that you don't really have friends. And then you realize that you don't really have anyone to talk to, because this entire time, the only comfort you've ever had was food. So my advice is start finding things that you can do that makes you feel happy, That could be makeup, taking a shower, having a bath, going for a walk, watching a movie, having a cup of tea. All these things can be coping mechanisms. Another reason why, as to why Muslim women struggle to lose fat and just stay fat for the rest of their lives, this is the most important one, but because they put everyone else first. They put their husbands first, they put their children first, they put their parents first. And this is applaudable. You know, I think it makes you a great wife and a great mom, but do you know what makes you a better mom and a better wife and a better daughter? Is to show up for yourself first. So that means simply being the best version of yourself so that you're not pouring from an empty cup. You do not need to give everything from yourself in order to prove that you're a great person. You are a great person even if you put half of that. And I was speaking to a client recently who, mashallah, makes an amazing daughter. And we were talking about ways that she can make time for eating better and working out. And she said, Mariam, I am the oldest child. My parents need me. And I said, yes, you're right. They absolutely do. And your parents deserve that. They've done everything for you. I do believe they genuinely do deserve that. However, I don't think there's any parent out there, if you were to tell them, hey, I can do that thing that you asked me to do. I'm just going to finish up something and I'll be right there. There we go. That means that you still get to have your dinner, your healthy dinner, rather than eating on the go, and then still tending to your parents at the same time. Now, the same thing applies to your children and your husband. Now, I do understand that with children, it could be a little bit more demanding, but even with children, if they are a certain age where it can be handled, you can be like, hey, yeah, of course I can do that for you. But first, mommy just needs to do A, B, and C. And then I'll be right there. And the same thing applies to your husband. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is you'll be very surprised how many people are willing to be open. Most women that I work with, the reason why they struggle with weight loss is because they struggle to say no. They are yes women. They are people that are people pleasing. They are people that find it really, really hard to say no. They don't want to disappoint anyone. And then in the meantime, their health is becoming worse. Their medical conditions are getting worse. They're not able to conceive like they want to. And they're not able to be the best wife or mom because they're constantly frustrated, insecure, and just don't feel great about themselves. This is not fair. What is fair is to think about, if you had a daughter, what would you tell her? Would you tell her to always be a person that said yes and putting their health on the back burner? Now, like I said, this isn't to say that you shouldn't show up for your family, but the best way to show up for your family is to be the best version of yourself in order to want to show up for your family. Because I don't know about you guys, because after I've gone to the gym and I've made myself a healthy lunch and a healthy dinner and I've gone for my walk, I feel great. I can't wait to come back home to my family. I can't wait to tend to my family because this is the time that I've put for myself and now I have an allocated time for them and I enjoy it. I don't feel like I'm pouring from an empty cup. And this is why it is absolutely important for ladies to be vocal, and you'll be very surprised about how many people can truly be open to listening to you and actually supporting you. The fifth point is a lot of ladies say, I don't have access to a women's only gym. I can't go out on my own. The area is not safe. So I can't go out for a walk and I can't do this and I can't do that. A bunch of excuses. Now, most ladies can't access a gym if they are covered like me and they live in the West or any other country that doesn't have women only gyms local. I understand that. But one thing that COVID-19 locked down to us is there were two types of people. There were those who gained weight because they had no access to anything, or those that lost weight and got into their fittest body of their life just from working out at home. 90% of my clients are working out at home, losing fat and getting fit and getting into the best shape of their life. You can do the same. You don't need a gym to lose fat and get fit. You don't need to sign up to a gym to lose fat and get fit. You can do all these things at home. You can buy a couple of dumbbells. And let's say you can't buy some dumbbells. Get something heavy and just hold it. A weight is a weight. 10 kilos is 10 kilos. 5 kilos is 5 kilos. Whether it's 5 kilos of a dumbbell or 5 kilos of rice. It doesn't matter. Let's say you can't go out for a walk. Fine, do chores around the house. Move around the house. Cooking, cleaning, all these things contribute to your overall amount of steps. Get yourself a walking pad. Get yourself a treadmill. Get yourself a bike. Something. Do something. You do not have to procrastinate and just accept that this is who you're going to be for the rest of your life. Or most importantly, if you know that you're someone who needs that support, if you know that you are that person who just doesn't know what they're doing, you know you need to lose 10, 20, 30 kilos, you don't know what to do, Hire a coach like myself that can actually hold your hand through the process and help you get there in 6 to 9 months, because doing it on your own has not been working. This whole excuses of, I'll just try again by myself. You've been trying by yourself for the last 2 years. Or this whole thing of, I can't access a gym. Fine, you can't access a gym. Can you work out at home? Can you do workouts off YouTube, for goodness sake? The internet is free. And I've been saying this for a very long time. I never accept anyone to say that they can't achieve something because they have trouble leaving the house because of their responsibilities, or they can't leave for any other reason. We are in the age of internet where things are widely accessible. Don't tell me that you can't go on YouTube or find a workout. If you don't know how to work out, YouTube is your solution. If you don't know how to eat better, YouTube is also your solution. Or a coach like me. If you're someone that lacks consistency, again, you can get a coach like myself who can help keep you consistent and motivated in the process to make sure that you're losing weight and keeping it off. There is a solution to every single problem. We are so fortunate to live at a time where we have access to everything literally on our fingertips. You don't need to go far. You don't need to leave your home. So this whole notion of, I don't have access to a gym, I don't know how to count my calories, everything is online. There are no excuses. I hope this was a beneficial video. I have been really struggling to think about topics that my audience would enjoy. So I would really, really like it if you could leave a comment and just tell me what kind of topics you would like me to cover, things that will help you in your journey. And it goes without saying, I'm Mariam from Mariam Motivates. I help Muslim women like you look their absolute best and transform their lives. And if you're someone who's looking for help and wants to really transform their bodies and you want to lose 10, 20, 30 kilos and get fit, go on my Instagram at Mariam Motivates and DM me the word help and we can talk. Until then, we'll see you in my next video.